Hey guys, my name is Wits. Aspects are game changer because they can help determine the type of content you can do in this game. Here's what I mean by that. So, if I go to my character screen and I am on my helmet and I click on aspects, as you can see on the bottom of the screen, it says aspects, just press the corresponding button. It's going to pull up all your aspects. You can see all the aspects right here. They come in tiers. So they go all the way to tier 5 because that's the highest tier that we have in the game right now. So all the ones that you have are going to have some kind of buff or some kind of affixes or whatever you want to call them. In other game, you can use those as gems. So you can slot them into your equipment, and there are 3 different types of equipment that you can slot them on. That's going to be your weapons, your helmet, and then your chest piece. Those are the only 3 that exist in the game right now that you can slot your aspects on. So, as you can see, for me, all the ones that I have right here, now it depends on the type of armor you're going to put them on. Let's say, for instance, my weapon. If I click on the weapon and I click on aspects, and you can see I have some tier 4. That's the highest tier that I got right now. And mostly the ones for the weapons are going to be offensive type of aspects. And whereas the other one is going to be things like affliction, like poison, bleed, or whatsoever for the other piece of armor. Let's say, for instance, if I go to my chest piece right here, as you can see, this one said 12% damage to afflicted enemies. So it has to do with afflicted elements like poisons, burn, or bleed, whatsoever. That being said, how do you get aspects? Well, you can find aspects by just playing the game. You can just finish a mission, and then at the end of the mission, part of the rewards are going to be some aspects. You can also just unlock some places on the map, and then there's a chest on the map, and you open the chest, and it gives you some aspects. They are not very hard to find. You can find some really, really good ones that can determine the potential of your build. Now, how do they actually work? So if I go into my helmet, for instance, now if you look at the helmet, you can see where it says empty aspect slot. That means there is no aspect on this helmet, so I have to slot one on there. So for the helmet, you can see it's got a diamond shaped one. So if I look at the weapon, it's got a triangle shaped one, but if I look at the chest piece, it's got a circle shape for the aspect slot. For example, I am going to slot one aspect into my helmet. So as you can see, this slot is empty. So if I look on the bottom where it says aspect, I'm going to press the corresponding button, which is X for me on controller, and then it's going to pull up all the aspects that are available for the helmet. And I just got to go through them and to see which one that I want to put on there. Let's say, for instance, I decide and put this one on there, right? So I'm just going to hit equip, and now the aspect is on there, and this one gives me a 5% focus after evading an attack, and it also comes with some other bonuses like affliction damage and boon duration. So those are the 3 things. And another thing that the aspect does, it also increase my gear score or my gear level. Why is that important? It's because that can determine the type of contents that you can do in the game. As an example, so if I come here trying to do the trial, and then as you can see, for the danger level 5, the gear requirement is 467. This means I can do it because my gear level, as you can see, is 478. However, if I switch my helmet to this one right here, as you can see, my gear score is lower. So it's 425 now. And if I go and try to do this, as you can see, the gear score is 467 and mine is 425. That means I cannot even attempt to try this trial because my gear score is too low. And that's where the aspects comes into play. So if I place an aspect into a helmet that was missing just a few level to increase my gear score, then that will become a game changer for me, because now I am able to do the content that I was otherwise not able to do. So that is one of the most important part of using aspects. Okay, now you know how important aspects are, and you also know how to put an aspect into your gear. So here is a scenario. What if you put an aspect into a piece of gear and now you no longer need that piece of gear anymore? What happens to your aspect? Well, let's show you what happened to your aspect. So as an example, I got this piece of armor right here. Let's say I do not want this piece of armor anymore, but I still like the aspect and I want to keep the aspect, especially it is a tier 4 aspect. So what do I do? So all I got to do, I'm just going to mark this for deletion, and then now I am going to go and dismantle that piece of armor. So let's go back, go to dismantle, and then I'm just gonna look for gear, and then this piece of armor right here, as you can see, this is the aspect with the tier 4. All I gotta do now is dismantle it. And once I dismantle this piece of armor, not only that I got spirit for it, but I still keep my aspect. And the aspects, if I go to a chest and then click on aspects, and remember it was a tier 4 aspects, and here is the aspects right here. This is the same one that I just deleted, so it came back to my inventory. So basically, you do not lose your aspects. If you want to keep your aspects, all you gotta do is just delete the piece of armor that you don't need. Another thing that you can do, if for instance you place the wrong aspect into a piece of gear, or you have an aspect into a piece of gear but you want to replace it, all you gotta do, just go to that piece of armor. Let's say for instance for this helmet right here, let's say I do not want the tier 3 aspect that's in it right now and I want to replace it. Like, remember that aspect is called aspects of focus evasion. So I'm just gonna click aspect, and then I am just going to replace it with something else. Right now it's got the aspect of focus evasion. Now once I put something else on there, let's say I want to put this one, that becomes the aspect that is on that piece of armor. And as you can see, that one still stays in my inventory and I did not lose it. So that's one way you can just replace an aspect and then you still keep your other aspects. So in summary, aspects play a very big role in your journey in this game. Aspects also can play a big determination factor into the contents that you can do. Also, aspects is going to play an important role into your build creation. Anyway, hopefully this helps you out. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.